Hello and welcome to In the Doll Wall. I'm your host, Georgia Taylor, and I'm so excited that you're joining me today. We have an amazing guest with us today. She is an award-winning doll artist. Her name is Sandra Maxwell, and she's probably best known for her pumpkin dolls. And we're so excited to be able to talk to her about these beautiful little 7-inch resin ball jointed dolls that she created that everybody just absolutely loves. So thank you so much for joining with me today, Sandra.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you about your journey and how you started creating dolls. And I want to talk a little bit too more about different materials that you use, but I'm just fascinated in your journey and how you got started creating these dolls.
Okay. I can tell you I've always been artistic. We came from a family, there was just 2 girls, and basically my mom supported the family. And she used to get, do you remember the Women's Day and Family Circle magazines?
Yes.
So she would get those. And back in the 70s, they actually
in the 70s? No.
In the 70s. Well, no, they contained like full patterns for things like craft stuff. So my poor mother, she's out working, and before she could even get through the week and sit down on the weekend and look through her magazine, I had all the stuff made from the magazines. So I want to say that's where the first doll that I ever made came from. I made it out of one of those patterns. Now I grew up like making stuff for Barbies and, like my grandmother used to save all kinds of little caps and all that stuff. So we'd have Pepsi boxes. That was our Barbie houses, and you'd stack the Pepsi boxes and make different rooms and you'd decorate them.
Yes.
So, we always had to make the things.
Right.
So, that's how I grew up. And like, I didn't come from money. So, if I wanted something, I usually tried to make it. I think I was I don't want to admit this, I think I was in high school when the Cabbage Patches came out. And so I was making the fake Cabbage Patches, because I wanted one. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to go out and go through that. I'll just make a fake Cabbage Patch. So, and actually one of them starred in the high school play. He was in the high school play.
Oh, one of your Cabbage Patch dolls? Oh my goodness. Okay. Had his own debut. Okay.
Yeah. So you don't want to know the shenanigans that went on behind the scenes with that poor doll. But anyway, so and I think for a time I made bears. It was like anything that interests me, I made it. Now I always had an interest in like porcelain dolls and handmade, one of a kind dolls and stuff like that, but I never really like got the chance to get into that stuff.
Right.
I went to college and I did study art at college. But then of course, when I got out of college, everyone wanted me to get a real job. And so I spent 15 years in an office, absolutely hated it. Shortly after I was married, I got pregnant, and, we discussed, am I going to stay working and just have my pay go to daycare? And, so we decided that I'd stay home with the kids. So of course, I'm home with the kids. What am I doing? I'm making stuff. So I came across reborns.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually what I started with, is I started reborn. So I started painting vinyl kits.
Okay.
And after I was doing that for like maybe a year or so, I said, you know what, I'm going to try sculpting this. And I never really had sculpted anything before. So even, that was the only thing in college in art that I did not take. What am I doing?
Sculpting. Well, let me just go ahead and try this. Let me just see what I could do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I said. I said, you know what, I'm going to try. And, because I saw some of the kids, I'm like, what, I want to try this. So now granted, some of the first ones, and anyone out there that wants to sculpt or is just a new artist, keep at it and keep plugging away at it. No one starts with the first bar of clay and comes out with a masterpiece. Trust me, no one does. And one of my early babies that I sculpted, I sent it to Jack Johnston to a contest.
Oh, wow.
And I don't have that baby anymore. I wish I did, because I was laughing with Sherry, the head of the guild. I was laughing. I said, oh my God, Jack was probably laughing his head off because this thing was so ugly. I can't believe that I sent it in. Like years later, I'm like, what was I
Why would I think it? Why would I do that?
And then my oldest daughter, she loved it. She'd carry it around everywhere. And I'm like, just don't tell mom, don't tell anyone mommy made it.
Well, you found it somewhere. Just
yeah. So, but I did, I kept at it. I actually did win an award from Jack with my Oliver kit that I did. But if you actually Google Oliver by Sandra Maxwell, and actually some of the reborn kits, that's why I sort of got out of the reborn kits, because some of them ended up really good. But, and then another company over in Germany had a contest, and if you were the winner, you got your kit produced. Okay, so nice. There was a German artist and me, and this is my little Astrid that won. So she got put into
so cute.
Kit. So
wait a minute. How long were you sculpting before you made that face? Right there?
Oh, trust me, there were a lot of ugly babies. There were a lot of ugly babies that only a mother could love. Look, the poor thing's bald. I never
so even cute though. Great face.
So that's after. So then I was in the reborn world for a while. I always loved the little dolls you had. You know, like I thought I want to make dolls that, you know, yeah, I'm an adult, but one that you know you can play with and you can. You can make stories about, you know, one of my favorite books growing up was The Lonely Doll by Dare Wright. It has a Lency doll in it.
Okay.
And if you Google that, The Lonely Doll by Dare Wright, and it's this like felt doll, and it's just photographs of her, and she makes friends with these bears. And every time I went to the library when I was little, I took that book up. So that's sort of what I had in my mind. I was like, you know, I want a little doll that I can make little stories about. So I decided, oh, I'll get into ball joints. And, you know, that takes a while. When you first start learning that, I mean, you don't understand the engineering that goes into it. And trust me, I'm completely right-brained. Ask my left-brain husband. There's not anything on this side of my head. So, like that is one of the things with ball joints is it has to support itself. It has to stand alone. Right. So that's what you're always gearing towards with the design, is to make sure that the doll stands by itself. So I did a bunch. I actually have numerous ones downstairs that either I never finished or they're still in the process or whatever. And one day I was sitting there with some clay, and usually, you know, I'll have like some inspiration photos. Like, oh my God, my poor Pinterest board. I have, you know, kids' pics for dolls. So I have tons of inspiration pictures. And usually, you know, I'll have not just one, I'll have a bunch of, and that's what I look at when I'm sculpting. Well, for some reason, I was just sitting there, you know, I was sick of working on the other ones. And so I just started doing this little head. And I just, yes, I sit in the garage and sculpt and talk to the clay. So I'm sitting there and, you know, I was like, you know, oh, you're just such a cute little pumpkin. And I just kept referring to the little head as a pumpkin. So, you know, because she does sort of have a little pumpkin head. And so that's where the first one came out, and I kept calling her Punkin. So she ended up being Punkin Pie. And then the whole idea came out with that, okay, I'll do one for each season. And they'll all have like pumpkin names. So there's Punkin Pie, there's Punkin Cookie, and my latest is Punkin Muffin. And then my last one I'm going to do is going to be Punkin Latte. So, but each of them have a season. So another thing I do, I not only sculpt them, now I do send them out to the cast. I did try molding and casting my own, but I couldn't get the color consistency, and it just wasn't up to the standards that I wanted. So that's when I decided, yes, I could spend years trying to perfect this, or I could send it out.
You can send it out, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I ended up doing. I send them off. They mold and cast them for me, ship them back to me. I paint them.
Okay. All right.
And I dress them.
Okay, you paint them, you dress them, and you sculpt them, and then you get them casted for someplace else.
After doing all the kits and stuff, that's sort of what I wanted to do. Is like, I wanted total control of the doll.
Okay, I understand.
You know what I mean? Because I had some issues with vinyl dolls being cast, that they weren't cast correctly, and I did the silicone animals, and there wasn't a big community of painters out there to sell silicone kits too at the time. I was ahead of the game there on that.
Yes.
And I didn't like painting silicone. So then that's when I moved into the ball joints, and I said, I want hands-on in everything I can.
Okay, that's understandable. I totally understand that. Why did you, so the fact that they're ball jointed, I understand that. Yes. Why did you make them so small? They're like 7 inches. Why did you make them so tiny? Because I know even when you're talking about the ball jointed part of that, and you were saying the intricacies of it, I would think that, making it bigger would seem like it would be less work as opposed to making it so tiny. And they're adorable, but why did you choose that size?
I can tell you in 3 words. I am insane. I was totally stupid. I was like, oh, well, this is where I get into trouble. It's like, I just talked to my husband. I do not think I'm one of those ones that I jump in the deep end, and I'll learn to swim while I'm in there.
I get it.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here. This is my 3rd one of this, and I have 1 more to do, and I'm up there sewing the costumes. And of course, I could design a real simple costume for it that would be real easy to, no, we don't want to do that.
A lot of intricacies,
all kinds of intricacies on it. And I'm up there, I'm like, why did I design this? So yeah, I'm insane.
Okay, I get that.
Had I known, I would have started out with one,
Yeah. I mean, I was just curious about that. It's so funny because I think too, because I was just curious, because some people will have like an idea. Well, I just wanted to throw it in my purse. I remember I was interviewing, I believe, oh my goodness, Allison from the Muñecas, and she has a YouTube channel, and she was saying and she was saying that she has like a little doll too, a very small little resin doll, that she's just like a pocket doll, so I was thinking maybe you were thinking, well, I just wanted to be like a pocket purse doll or something like that, so I could travel with it more. So I was just trying to figure out why it became so tiny as opposed to something that was a little bit larger.
That would make sense, but no. It's just because if there is a hard way to do it, like I wish I could get paid money to find, like hard ways to do things, because that's my MO. If there's a hard way to do it, that's the way I'm going to do it first.
Oh, that is hilarious. That's hilarious. But I mean, like you said, you just do what it is that you feel you want to do, and then you work around that. And I can understand.
Hey, I could give you some real good BS that, it's the creative flow and the creative spirit that drove me.
Right.
I know I'm just stupid.
She's like, no, that's just how I wanted it, and then I'll figure it out along the way, so.
Yeah, next doll, bigger.
I'm sure it will be.
And another one, because I wanted this, she's supposed to be a toddler. Okay.
Yeah, so she's so cute. We have to look at them too in a minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the body I designed, it was, a little toddler body. It wasn't this little skinny thing. It was, and she's got a booty on her, okay,
because she's so tiny. She's a little baby. It's a little toddler.
I know. So it's supposed, but it's cute and all, but that's why I have, I offer with my artist dolls, I offer an additional outfit. I also sell the pattern books so that those that sew can make the clothes for
that's
them.
Great.
And I have a Facebook page It's called the Punkin page. And a lot of my collectors and fans and stuff, we hang out there. And I try to give them, like, every once in a while, I'll give them like some little, you know, freebie or a free pattern or something.
Right.
And there's a lot of women on there that don't sew. So like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get you all sewing. So I keep showing them different. Oh, look how simple this is. And you can hand sew it if you don't have a machine. So that is my next goal, is to get all the people on the Punkin page sewing.
Okay. All right. That's good. It's less work for you too, you know, because they can make their own outfits now.
Yes.
You know? Exactly. All right. So let's see some of those little pumpkins over there. Let's see.
Okay. So the first one, now the body is a girl body, but obviously they make adorable little boys. I think it's because I don't have any boys.
Cute.
I always end up putting my dolls as little boys.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. So, and these jeans, I did not make these overalls. There's a Ukrainian artist.
Okay.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, you know, email me. I'll link you up with her. Her stuff is phenomenal. Okay. I mean, working pockets.
So cute.
Look at the little red tag on the side.
Oh, on the side.
Her work is just
cool. I love it.
Over the moon. So anyway, so this is Punkin Pie. This was the first one.
Oh.
Okay. And that's the one that won the 2020
award, I think. Dolls Award. Excellent.
You would think I would know these off by heart, right? This was the second one. Now all of these dolls are going to be different colors as well. So Pie was my little fall doll. Okay. So all the patterns that I did for her were like autumn. Okay. Then we had little Cookie, and she's a little bit of a little imp. You know, she's a little mischievous.
She is adorable though.
And she is, I meant for more of like a Hispanic type doll with her. And unfortunately my basics, my kids have a big influence on like dolls and stuff that I've done, because I did not mean for my basic Cookie to look like Dora the Explorer, but that's who I see when I look at her. So if you would like a Dora the Explorer doll, get my Cookie. Get your Cookie. That's so cute. So yeah, so Cookie, and then each of them, like there's 3 different ways you can get a doll. I did sell some blank ones, a few of them. Then there are the basic dolls, and that's for someone that wants one of the dolls. Either, you know, they don't want to spend a lot, they want one of them, but they want, you know, the lower end of it, or they want to get it and they want to redo it, like they want to redo the wig, right? Redo the outfit. Then they get a basic. Then the artist doll, usually that has a more extensive face up on it. It usually has different wigs you can choose, different eyes you can choose. It'll come with an extra outfit, a little toy, and some sort of food thing. Okay. Like unfortunately Pies, she had a little animal cracker box. Yes, and I love animal crackers. Used to love animal crackers. Yes. So she had one of those with a little rope that she could hold. And then Cookie, I made little chocolate chip cookies, like one chocolate chip cookie that would sit on her thumb, so she could pose with a cookie. And then Muffin. Now, are you ready for Muffin? Yes. I keep telling my collectors, I'm like, are you sure for Muffin? I'm ready. She's a little cranky. You know toddlers, right? Yes. Like, oh. You got to be ready for this one. So this is Muffin. Her face is priceless. Okay. Yes. It is priceless. Sandra. And that's what I'm sorry. Every toddler I've ever seen, you get this face. So cute though. Just so this is Muffin, and you know, and she's coming, she's my spring one. So of course she's coming with her little bunny, and she's gonna have a little muffin with her. Okay. And then all the artist dolls, they come in a little carry case. Oh, okay. So when you're at one of the ball joint shows and you see one of these cute little carry cases walking around, you need to come to my table and get one. Yes, they do. They do. So I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with Punkin Latte. Okay. She's going to be darker complected. Okay, very nice. And why she's last is because I'm trying to find the proper wig for her.
Oh,
I can
okay.
find them, but I can't find them this small.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so we're still dealing with that, trying to find
Okay.
that the proper
Okay.
one.
And
And
when
I
is she
think
coming out? Do you know when she'll be coming out?
if she is coming out next year, it won't be
Okay.
until later in the year because
Okay.
she's going to be my winter.
The latte, right. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, very cool.
So
Very nice.
but yeah, so then there will be 4 of these little creatures
Mm-hmm.
that you can see, and they could all fit in your purse.
They are good. They definitely could. And they're so adorable. I mean, their faces are just brilliant. So
Well, and that's something I love doing faces with expressions.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm,
I like, I do love the dolls that, they're just beautiful. They're breathtaking.
mhm,
But those ones that just make you smile, you know what I
mhm.
mean? Like this
Yes.
one, you just, you
Who
know,
doesn't?
the whole time that I was like, once I got it, like at first when I'm sculpting, I'm like, oh, is this gonna transfer correctly?
Oh,
I was a
transfers
little,
perfectly.
yeah, I was a little worried, but when I got her and I did the face up and I just keep giggling, and it's like I was on the Punkin page and I'm like, oh girls, this face just makes me giggle. So yeah, she's a little and she's mad. She's got little fists.
She is, yeah. She
Yeah,
don't,
so
she does not want to do what you want her to do.
nope,
That's the case. That is for
nope.
sure. But that's awesome though. So are you going to be now? You're going to be doing some. Are you doing just online shows? I know you're part of the PDMAG. We're going to talk about that
Right.
in a few.
Yeah.
Are you going to do other shows too as well?
I'm going to be at 2 shows this year. Well,
Mhm,
let me restate that. So in August is the BJDC. It's
mhm,
the ball jointed doll convention down in
mhm,
Austin every
mhm.
year. Unfortunately, I can't be there. I'm moving a freshman into college on the day that all the sales are. I'm like, so, but my dolls are going. So
Okay,
so I'm gonna have this face because
so
my
cute.
dolls get
That's
to go to the
right.
show and I
And you
don't.
don't.
So yeah, so if you're going to Austin,
Mhm,
dolls will be there.
mhm.
I have someone
Funny.
manning my table, and
Mhm,
then in September
mhm,
in Oklahoma City,
mhm.
the Modern Doll Collectors Convention.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Me and the dolls will be
Okay. Very
there. And
cool.
then of
Okay.
course, the PDMAG convention
Mhm,
is online
mhm,
in October,
mhm.
and we are reverting back to the first year where everything is free.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
So now I know you're going to be at the convention, and wanted to talk a little bit more about your participation and your
Mhm.
involvement with PDMAG. So how did that come about, and what is your role there too, as far as not just being a doll artist there?
I'm one of the heads of the convention, and
Okay.
actually, we have a blast. The volunteer group that we have working on the show, we have a lot of fun doing it. So I joined the guild shortly before COVID, and in 2020, all of the ball joint shows were going virtual and doing
Mm-hmm.
an online show. And so I said, well, why aren't we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
So a group of us got together and we started the PDMAG online convention.
Nice.
And for right now, maybe in the future we'd look at doing something physical, but for right now we're just doing an online,
Mm-hmm.
virtual show because
Mm-hmm.
it's just easier for us.
Okay. All right. And you find that that has been really successful for you doing online
Yeah, and
conventions?
we're
Mm-hmm.
sort of still playing with it. Like
Okay.
2020, we didn't know what
Yes.
we were doing. We were like, okay, let's try this, let's try that,
Mm-hmm.
and then last year we decided, well, let's try selling tickets and see
Right.
if that works a little better. So we've been playing around with different ideas. So this year we're trying to take all the ideas that worked,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we're working on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Very, very
exactly.
cool. Exactly.
So it's a really great show because
Mm-hmm.
basically any of the members of the guild, even with just one doll, they can have a sales page.
Oh, that's
So,
right. That's
and I think,
beautiful.
yeah, there's like I want to say there's over like 250 members.
Wow.
So you're looking at, where else
Wow.
can you go that you have that many artists? And
Right.
we're
Yeah.
talking, some of these artists are like,
Phenomenal, right?
Oh my
Phenomenal.
gosh. Yeah.
But you know what I love about it too is that, and you can probably attest to this, is that, you know, you don't have to be that phenomenal artist, right? You could still
No,
be a
no.
beginner artist and come
Yes.
along and get the information and the, you know, all the amazing you know, knowledge that all the other artists bring to the table.
Yes.
You know, and to help you along. So yeah, so that's what I love about it too. It's really such a great environment and a great organization for that to happen for artists.
Oh, I love it because I've made so many friends there. And in the guild, like you have like some simple question, like you can't find something, you can go on our Facebook group and just put a post out there, and you know, usually someone comes back with you, oh, I have it, you know, or hey, this is where I got it. I mean,
right,
when you're an artist and you're at home working by yourself and there's no other artists around, it's nice having a group that you can reach out to. And one of the great things about the guild is there's three different things. There's the regular artist and there's the master artists, but there's also the apprentices. And that's if you know, you're still learning. You come into the guild as that, you get like class, you know, for your membership, you get free classes on how to do things.
That's so
and
great.
What we're doing this year, I think we did it last year too, that the apprentices are allowed to show at the convention.
Okay.
So what we're doing, and we're doing it because like you get to set up your web page. So, you know, that helps you.
Right.
You know,
yes.
you're a new artist. Well, we help you set up your web page.
Yes.
There's so many great things.
Yeah, we had a great opportunity last year, you know, and I think when we first started too, to you know, to be a media partner for them, to and we showcased some really amazing artists through the guild, and it was great because you got a chance to see the variety of artists that, you know, that actually are there. I think we did Naomi, we did Patricia, we did so many, there's so many different people there, and we did Cecilia, I believe it was. Arrington.
Yeah, Cecilia was she's on our volunteer group.
Yeah. So I want to ask you one more thing about that. Since you are an artist and you have already at a different level, you know, you weren't an apprentice when you first decided to be part of PDMAG. How and I guess the place where you were in, has it really still helped you to become more successful in what it is that you do by being part of that? Because I mean, you already come to the table with a great amount of skills. So how does that, so has the PDMAG part of that, has, you know, helped you to do different things, or to, you know what I mean, to see different ways to showcase your work?
Well, one of the things that why I enjoy it is because because I'm so into the ball joints, I don't get enough time to set aside to do one of a kinds and stuff anymore.
Right.
So this sort of drags me back in, you know what I mean? So that I still have a little link there.
Very nice.
But I don't care how old you are, you're always going to learn something.
Yes.
So, and that is what I love about the guild, because we have so many varying mediums that we showcase. And I don't know about you, but like, I'm very ADHD, and like, I get bored easily. Like that is one thing that I do like about the dolls, because if I'm getting, you know, sick of doing this assembly line of clothes, well, I can go paint, or I can go sculpt, you know. So that's one of the great things about the doll industry. That's why I think I landed here and I love it, because there's
so many different
things.
Brain.
It's like my brain. But that's one of the great things about the guild. You know, you might find a medium that you never even thought of before.
Yeah,
and you're
true.
Like, ooh, I want to try that. And guess what? We'll probably have someone doing a tutorial or a class or something on it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a really great environment as an artist. I mean, you need these, and trust me, as an artist, I mean, it's a really tough industry. You know what I mean? You're constantly getting beaten down. You know, you don't make that much.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
You gotta love what you do.
Yes.
And it's nice having a community where there's, you know, it's sort of it's a nice support group. For all areas of your life. Just don't tell them that.
So I know that. So I know the online convention. It's going to be October 14th through 16th, right? And
Yes,
that's going to be online. So I will leave
correct.
information about where people can can sign up at. But I believe it's their website at PDMAG. I
And
think it is.
actually, yes, the only thing that you have to sign up is if you're a member of the guild and you want to register for the show.
Mhm.
If you just want to come and look at all the eye candy, all the pieces, buy some. Georgette will have the website for you, and those days, pop in. We always have like little presentations on how things are made. And even if you're not an artist, some people, because people ask me all the time, well, how do you do that? Or how do you do this?
Yes.
Come to the convention. We'll show you in some of the presentations, So there's a lot of good information, not only for the artists, but for the attendees as
Right.
well.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the website is pdmagconvention.com.
convention.com.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's going to be running again from October 14th through the 16th.
Mhm.
So when we talked about a little bit, you were talking about, being in there, you can see so many mediums, and that, if you want to try something, it's available to do that. Are you going to switch mediums again? Or are you going to stay with the one that you're working with?
Right now, I'm happy working with the resin.
Okay.
I do always like to, I do some one of a kind. Like I always do some one of a kind for the PDMAG show, because they are a one of a kind art guild. Not that my dolls aren't one of a
Right.
kind, but they're reproduction.
Right.
So like, and I do have some of the pieces that, some of my one of a kinds that I've done in the past. This is a hobbit that my husband claimed. My babushka lady.
Babushka lady.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm from Pittsburgh, so we got babushka ladies here.
Yes.
They're making their pierogies. So I don't know. She came out and I didn't want to make her a witch. I'm like, no, she's a babushka lady.
No, yeah.
So I haven't sold her. So she sits on my piano. So
okay, very cool. That is very neat.
Yeah, and then I still want to do porcelain. I have an enormous kiln in my garage.
Okay.
But unfortunately my garage isn't temperature controlled, and we are so humid here. I can't make and keep plaster molds and pour porcelain. So we are going to move in sometime within the next 10 years, so whether I want to do porcelain after
by that time,
know.
right, exactly.
But I've done numerous other things. It's just, with me, it's if something strikes my fancy,
right, you'll do it.
I'll do it.
I get that. I can tell that, and that's all good. That's what makes you Sandra Maxwell. That's just
the crazy Sandra Maxwell.
No. So where can people who have not seen your pumpkin dolls, which I don't know who those would be, but if they haven't, where can they find your amazing work at, Sandra?
All of my stuff is Sandra Maxwell Studios with an S at the end.
Okay.
It just sounded better than just studio. So.
Sandra Maxwell Studios with an S at the end.
At the end. So on Facebook, on Instagram, my website is sandramaxwellstudios.com. If you are on Facebook and you really like the pumpkins, you don't have to have a pumpkin to join the pumpkin page. Just come over to the pumpkin page. Pumpkin with Punkin, not pumpkin.
Right. Gotcha. Pumpkin.
The slang pumpkin.
The slang pumpkin.
And join us. We have lots of fun over there. We share pictures. We share all kinds of, free files over there for you dolls. So join us.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra. It really has been a joy meeting you, a joy talking to you. I'm so glad that you said yes to being in the doll world. And I'm so glad that you are the amazing artist that you are. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Keep doing these podcasts. I love watching them because I love seeing the other artists and what they do and their stories.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Don't forget to go to pdmagconvention.com if you want to be part of the online convention that they have coming up and see all the amazing artists that are going to be showcasing their work, including Sandra. So thank you again, Sandra. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.